Hi there. If you're new to the channel, I'm Ian.
I'm Julie, and we're building an off-grid home here in the French Pyrenees.
We bought a raw plot of land from the local authority right in the centre of the village. And what we're trying to do is basically stay totally off-grid, electricity-wise and hopefully water-wise.
We started with phase 1 of the build, which is the garage workshop project.
And that's going to be the base for our house project. So that'll house all our building supplies, our tools. It'll have a small workshop and also some shelter when we need it from the sun or the rain when we're working through winter.
In the previous video, you saw us offload this huge water tank here.
And we'd originally planned for an above ground recuperation tank, basically to make it easy to install so we didn't have to do huge excavations. But this unit here behind me was just a deal too good to miss. It's 4,100 litres, but it does mean we have to bury it.
We also dug out for our Gabion wall, which will enable us to position where this tank is eventually going to go, because at the moment it's hard to visualise.
So all of these steps, one after the other, we have to go through. We really want to just get ahead and dig this in, but without the Gabion retaining wall, we don't know where that's going. Without this in the ground, we don't know the level of our drainage from the roof. So it's one thing after the time.
Yeah. Everything's connected, and it just seems to be little steps to get to the final destination.
Hi, we're Ian and Julie. Follow us on our tiny homestead and our debt-free project of a lifetime, the building of our shipping container home here in the Pyrenees, and all of this alongside our full-time jobs.
So while Julie is cutting the bank just there, I'm just going to get on and try out the Gabions. So I've got my trench here, and it comes all the way around, and it's near enough flat. It's a bit high on this point, which is good. I'm going to whacker plate all that down because I've got to build up this corner just there. So having it a little bit higher there is fine for now, but let's see how these Gabions work out. So what we found with these Gabions when we put them in, Julie's made them all up in the garage. We carry them across to here, and by the time we get here, all of the, here's one here, all the little curly bits seem to just swivel off the bottom. And it's a bit annoying. So when you lift it up, it drops down. So what we've got is this little sort of fence staple crimper that you crimp the mesh fencing to the tensioner wires. So we're going to give that a go and see how it goes. It's sort of working. I might just get a pair of pliers and just crimp that quite tight. It seems to work. It's only temporarily has to hold it in while we jiggle it all about. So I've just put quite a few all down the sides, and that seems a lot better now. Got to leave this one free because we're going to take this end off so it joins onto all the rest of them. But I think that works fine. I just want to show you what we did in the last video. We basically dug this pathway with the mini digger, and that's because it's on a sloping site. So I couldn't just get in here and dig a trench like this section just here. So I basically dug a much wider trench, so it's nice and flat, level, and basically chipped away at this side. So we can now just place these Gabions up against the side like that. And that allows us to put in a landscaping fabric down the side and the bottom to stop all the mud falling into the rocks. And afterwards we will then just backfill to about this level, so we've got a nice sort of gabion wall to look at, this level, and bring it down and slope it gradually down to the main lawn there. We thought that was the easiest way, and it really was. It didn't take long at all to dig this out. And then once all this is done, we have to dig the big hole here for the water tank, and that's where I'm actually going to dig the hole and drive into it and dig out of it.
Day 2 of Pappy Daycare. Another DIY shop for little Tom.
What's that?
A compressor. Another project we got to do, and that's what you just saw us collecting from our local Brico depot. Look at all this. It is just a complete mess. Everything is everywhere. These are our only shelves. All of this area in the small power room is just an equal mess. So we've got our coffee machine, the EcoFlow sat there, battery chargers, just stuff everywhere. And I hate it. So we have bought a couple of cheap, basically garage shelving units. So I'm just going to get those made up. This one here, we're just going to have it in half, and that's going to sit underneath in the power room and act as a sort of a small workbench, a couple of those. This little one here will be up against the inside of the wall of the powerhouse. So yeah, I'll quickly put those together and let's get tidying, because we have got to put those insulated panels all along here very, very soon.
Look and a jiggle. For now it's better here because it's secure at the back. Just for temporary storage.
We'll stick a couple of screws in, just here and there. Right, onto the other.
After a hard day digging, the sausages get to go for a walk. And these are the paths at the back of our off-grid plot.
Oh, you are a cheeky girl. Go on then. Oh, you got a naughty sister. Hello. Good morning, you silly girl. Good morning. Come on then. Come on. This little hen, she's been broody for nearly 4 weeks now. Every morning I have to bring her out. And during the day I pop her out a couple of times a day just to get her off the nesting boxes, but within minutes she's running back and straight on there. So come on girl, there you go. Oh. Well, we're down to 4 little chucks now. We did have 4 red ones, but last week unfortunately we found a feral cat in the back here. We just couldn't get to the chickens in time, and it got one of them and dragged it under the terrace by our swimming pool. So I've been coming out every night checking that the chucks are back in their home, and that leads me to my next point, which is the problem that I shared with you all regarding the chicken mites. The hen house was absolutely infested, and we never had that before with our previous little flock of chickens, and we just put it down to the fact that these may have came with the lice and we didn't know about it because we never thought to look. So after all your suggestions of the powder that I needed to get, due to the fact that we were away a lot, I went to our local farm shops and I got that white powder that you all told me about. I've stripped the house out so many times, power washed it, literally covered it in this white powder. Every crevice I can find, this powder's gone into. And after several, I'd say it's got to be 2 months now, it's totally gone. We've got rid of it all. And also I found a product that you can actually put in the water that they drink, and the mites will not bite the chickens. It repels them. So a mixture of this liquid, only a little bit in the water, and all that white powder, and I'll show you, the house is covered in it. I'm still using it. It's my staple in my basket for the chickens. But they seem healthy. I checked them, there's nothing on them. Just a shame we've lost one. Here's all my white powder. Yep, and I've got 2 eggs already this morning. Good girls.
So these are only cheap shelving we got from our local big box store. Pretty simple to put together, although you have to get it all nice and square or the little slots don't work. So we didn't think we'd bore you with all the cleaning up and etc. But yeah, we've tidied it all up now. These here are the panels for up there. So we'll be getting those on very soon. My poor old planer is still waiting for the blades. We're just getting ready for the digger outside and the dumper. And Julie has found all the rocks in the field. So I'm just changing over the blades. They're bent a bit. You can see that the stone bent the blades and it cut into the cowling here. But that's what that's for, is to protect the underside. But it's pretty easy to work on, and I'll get those straightened out and put back on.
Been busy in the power room stroke clean workshop. We've just moved all our bits and bobs into here. We put the shelves up last night. It just means all our bits and pieces will just be in one place, secure, and not on show when the doors are open.
Just got the digger out again. Busy now, just planning on moving some soil out the way, just so that we can grade it a little bit better before we start putting all the gabions in. Ian's just got down there now with the digger, so we'll wander down and see what he's up to. The dogs just can't resist being in this fresh soil.
Sorry, little ants.
You always need a hand tool.
Yeah. It's quite a tight little area, so we're just going to get all of this flat.
Oh, it's looking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a difference taking this chunk off the corner.
Yeah. I'll just grade that down. I can get to that with a digger later.
And never far from Ian, they're always at his heels.
We'll be putting all these stones back in a minute.
I know, it's bizarre, taking all these stones out just to put back.
Right, turn him on. Where are we?
inspecting his dad's work.
This bit here. Perfect. A bit low, so some more stones there.
We've just taken some levels, and this one little section here is just a little bit too low, so we're just building him up, and as he creeps across we'll just keep an eye on our levels and build up as and when. I've not done too bad considering it's just been dug out with a digger.
No,
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Oh, that's going to be that end. Just leave it there. So we're just putting this landscaping fabric all the way on the inside, closest to the dirt, because we don't want all the soil being washed in and then loads of weeds coming out the top or whatever.
First block's going in. Woohoo!
It's quite hard being a metre high.
Yeah. So I'm just moving and digging up all these rocks wasn't in vain. We're actually getting to use them.
I'm hoping this is okay. We've not done it before, but you can overthink things sometimes, can't you? So I'm just going to fill it with all these rocks and then we'll go from that. And then I've got gabions already made up to start the return across here.
So we're just backfilling, but there you can see rocks in one, and we'll just slowly work our way across, and you can see the membrane fabric right at the bottom there.
Just kick it from the... Yeah. Okay.
The next step now is to actually measure this unit to find out how big we need to dig this hole.
We do have a spec sheet, but unless you've actually got to take measure and seen what it looks like, you never know. So this is just a picture to see what size hole we have got to dig. So it's said in the spec 3,250, which is there, but this looks like it comes out to at least another 100. So that's just under 3.5 meters. And then we've got the width.
How are we doing?
The width is about 1.3 meters. And then the height, they say, is about 13, yeah, something like that. But we have got to go at least 1.9 depth. So you can see how deep that is. So in total...
Oh, it's taller than me.
I mean, one question would be good. Drop down in the comments whether you think our little Chinese mini digger can actually dig the hole to bury this unit. It'd be quite interesting to know how many people have confidence in that machine or not. So
This wasn't a thought when we actually bought this unit. We never even considered, can the digger go that deep?
hence why we were going to go for a surface mounted unit. So comment down below whether you think this can do it or not.
It's a hot one, so we're back inside the garage just for a bit of shade.
We're just doing we're going to do 4 more gabions for today. Get the base of rocks in, and I think that'll be it, because it's one of the hottest days today. It's about 33 degrees Celsius. It's not too bad, but when you're out there moving rocks. Yesterday, we were absolutely tired out from doing those.
Oh,
So
bit burnt.
we will get that done, and then we'll get the digger back, because we took that home last night. Just a few modifications. So we'll bring that back tomorrow, and we'll carry on grading out. So we're going to carry on with these and get those over. God, it's so hot. So we've got the gabions in. We've half filled them with rocks, but we're going to leave the gabions at this length for now, because the next project is basically to backfill with the gabions we've already got, and then start digging out for that big water tank, because this end of the gabions I need to build up with the soil I dig out from the water tank. So we've done as much as we can with gabions, which is quite good, because
It's so hot.
it's like being in a prison camp. We've been looking for rocks and piling them up for the sake of it. But so we will be back next week, hopefully digging a hole out for this water tank. Let's see whether this little mini excavator can cope with that. So drop some comments down below.
Catch you next week, and don't forget, cheeky thumbs up, give us a like and share.
All right, see you next time.
Bye from the Pyrenees.